After an enormous amount of research, trial and error, and price comparisons, we settled on the TROBOLO camp composting toilet for our van. We're van lifers and have now used it for a couple months, so here's a no-nonsense review. It's a really simple system. It's a solid waste and liquid waste separator, and honestly, it works pretty well. And because it separates the solid waste from the liquid waste, it really doesn't smell. I was so skeptical about this when we first bought it. I was like, there's no way that just an open poop hole is going to work. But it really does work. It's super simple to use, super simple to clean. One of the things we liked about this one as opposed to others is actually its smaller size because it fits under the seats in our van. At just 11 inches tall and 15 inches wide, it's a perfect compact shape, lets us keep it out of the way. As far as a camp toilet goes, it's pretty basic waste separating system. It has that solid waste compartment in the back and the urine compartment in the front. The main thing that sold us on the TROBOLO versus the Trolino or the Boxio is actually the urine compartment. They have this new, quote, safe shell system. It's totally leak proof and prevents pee from sloshing out when you're driving. The other two don't have that, so that was a big selling point of the TROBOLO. The solid waste container is about as basic as it gets. It's just a bin in the back. We use these heavy-duty waste bags that are pretty generous sized. For two of us, we only have to change it every 2 to 3 days. Once you have it set up, you're pretty much ready to use it. We have found that using a smell-proof cat litter has been really helpful. So we sprinkle that in before we use it, and then we sprinkle it on top of every go. And then you just hop in the van and do your thing. One thing to keep in mind is the height. It is a little bit more like a squatty potty than a normal toilet. Honestly, I prefer that, but it is something to keep in mind. As a woman, the one thing that I will say that's a little frustrating is I have to scoot super far back to aim for number 2, and I have to scoot super far forward to aim for number 1. Otherwise, it just kind of all gets funky in the middle. So as a woman, it's a little bit trickier to use than it would be for a man to use. Men definitely sit down, otherwise you're going to miss the hole. But other than that, it's really pretty simple to use. As far as a van toilet goes, it's great to have for when we're camping off grid or we don't have a toilet. It's also really easy to clean. This guy comes out. We just take that pee canister out, dump it out, take the bag out, dump it out, wipe it down with a Lysol wipe, and we're good to go. One of the reasons we like this one above some of the other competitor models is because it does latch down. So when we're driving, we're confident that nothing's going to spill out. So if you're looking for a camp toilet, this one is super simple and basic, but it works really well. It shockingly doesn't smell. It's pretty clean, and we really like it. So 10 out of 10 recommend. We would buy it again.